Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Keller Williams Realty Technologies presentation. We're so excited to have you all with us today. This is Kevin,
Hey everybody, happy Friday. This is Brenda.
and I know Adam is out there in cyberspace. Hello, Adam.
Hi, how are y'all doing today?
All right, and Adam's going to be helping us out with questions. So if you all have any questions at all, let us know. And Adam and me or Brenda will be happy to answer that. Here's what's on our agenda. We're going to talk about the Mega Camp highlights for ambassadors. Can you believe it's already been a week? We're going to talk about the training updates and the product updates. These are things that we talked about during Mega Camp special session. We're going to talk about some KWLS updates that just happened this week. These are some updates that some of us have been waiting for a long time. And speaking of updates, we also have our EEdge updates for this week. And then, of course, as always, we'll talk about next week's technology schedule. So let's get started. Brenda is going to take us off with the Mega Camp highlights for ambassadors. Take it away, Brenda.
So we wanted to kind of recap the session that we did last Wednesday for MC Techs and ambassadors at Mega Camp. And the first thing that we did, we split the session into two parts. The first part being training updates, and we talked about how to get better results in the classroom. So I'll do a quick recap of what that section entailed. And what you're seeing here on the screen is a model that was used and is used by our KW Worldwide Technology trainers. So Kevin and I, as well as David and Andy, and we have Stacia and Brian. We all make up the technology training team, and Stacia and Brian deliver training to all of our worldwide regions. Every time we launch Keller Williams in another country, those two are putting together, they design, develop, and they deliver the training to each of those regions' technology managers. And so in essence, each country or region has its own technology manager, which kind of acts as an ambassador and technology coordinator. So they need training just as all of you need training on the worldwide version of MyKW and the worldwide version of EEdge. And let's go back one slide. Thank you, Kevin. So what they found is that originally they were using the approach that you see on the left, training by telling. And that's the traditional training approach that a lot of us are trying to get out of the habit of, but it's just so natural for the trainer to be seen as the one who knows everything, has all the answers, and we are espousing our knowledge to the learners. And they found that that was somewhat effective, but that the learners weren't really retaining, and they were coming back and asking the trainers the same questions over and over again. It just wasn't sticking. And so shifting to a different model that you see on the right, training for empowerment, where you're really putting the learner more in the driver's seat of their own learning. And the way that happens is the trainer is merely, and we've talked about this before, a facilitator of that learning. We guide the learners to find their own answers. We force them to use their resources, whether that's a help guide or videos that they watch prior to or after the class, or turning to each other, or asking questions, having discussions in the classroom, somehow getting the learners to find out the answers for themselves instead of being dependent on the trainer for all of the answers. And it's not always comfortable. You have to be okay with some long, awkward silences while the learners are trying to fumble and coming up with the wrong answer. But that's okay, because that's learning happening. And at the end of the day, that approach results in much better numbers. So what they found on the worldwide side is after they shifted to more of a training for empowerment model, they were launching regions more quickly. So 46% decrease in how, I said that wrong. Anyway, in about half the time, regions were launching. They were becoming active market centers, transmitting market centers, and agents were getting their listings entered. It used to take them about 20 days on average to enter them after training, and then they were entering them the same day or the day after training. So getting their listings in there much more quickly, having listings up there on their website to generate leads and get into business much more quickly. So now if you go to the next slide, as you know, on the United States and Canada side, we've rolled out a couple of workshops. The first one, you know, is the Master Your KW mobile app workshop, and that does have a lot of built-in activities that really guide learners to find their own answers. So it's not a lot of lecture. It's got a facilitator guide that really asks a lot of questions or directs them to look in their resources and find their own answers. So we know a lot of you have taught that already and have gotten great results. And on that topic, Kevin, if you'll change the slide, and Kevin, I'll let you talk about this since this was your presentation at MegaCamp. As you know, we had a little contest that we ran. So Kevin, if you want to talk about the contest.
Hi, so we did have the mobile app contest winners announced at MegaCamp. That was a lot of fun. And the contest, for those of you that were not familiar with it, is we asked people, one, to perform the workshop in their market center, and then get some testimonials from their students, from their attendees, about the workshop itself. And of course, as always, our agents go above and beyond, our trainers go above and beyond. And one of them, I believe, was Mary Kay Mooney's Market Center, put together an entire film festival around that challenge, which I thought was really great. So it got their agents involved in not just promoting the mobile app, but other niches and things that they're familiar with and that they're getting to know about. So they provided a really fun video for the app. Jeff did the workshop. He provided us his calendar and all kinds of great things, including a full video and some testimonials on that. And Cindy's class, we received a lot of great comments regarding Cindy's class. And then I loved what Cindy said. And one of her comments was that we just made it easier for her to do what she's already doing. So she's been creating this content, creating these workshops, trying to find ways of empowering agents. And this workshop just simply made the job a lot easier so that Cindy can focus on the learners engaging and really understanding the material that they're presenting, rather than them just telling and then having to come back to the class. And as Brenda mentioned, asking the same questions.
Yeah, so these three ambassadors submitted a video. We ran the contest where we had them take a video that had at least 3 testimonials from people that participated in their classes, you know, whatever their takeaways were, or the general theme was that agents are feeling more confident in how to use their app and they're sharing it. And as you know, that just gets the brand name out there that much more, plus it's a very useful app for their clients to have. So we got our executive team and Gary Keller to actually sign 3 t-shirts, so we were able to randomly pick 3 videos, and these are the winners. So yep. Congratulations to everybody.
And one of the things I loved best, one of the common things I heard on the video testimonials is, I didn't even know this was here. I didn't know that I could do that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So we have another workshop now for you. If you'll advance the slide, Kevin. If you go to MyKW and go to the Keller Williams University website. Oops, go back one slide,
yep.
Please.
There we go.
Here is where you can find the EEdge Database QuickStart workshop. So just like the mobile app workshop, it is a guide that takes you as a facilitator through, we estimated 3 hours. That might be a little aggressive, but it's everything that agents need to do in order to get their EEdge website and their EEdge marketing materials filled out with their preferred contact and brand information. So they get their account settings filled out, they turn on lead alerts, they understand how leads come into EEdge, they practice entering themselves as a lead, looking at the alert, responding to the alert, putting contacts in via import, putting them into groups. We talk about why, and then putting them on a touch campaign. And so over the course of that workshop, it's really taking their EEdge database from 0 to 60 with a little bit of pre-work assigned before, which would be activating EEdge, just getting some of the mundane tasks out of the way so the workshop can be a lot more hands-on, and more of the complex work that does generate a lot of questions. So we would love to hear how this is going for you if you've already taught it or you plan to. Send us feedback through the technology community. It's been taught by us a couple of times. I already can think of a couple of things to tweak in it. So on an ongoing basis, most likely quarterly, we'll take these workshops and fix them up a little bit with new tips that we're getting from you or things that we can think of to make them flow even more smoothly. But hopefully this is a vast improvement. And for those of you that, again, you have the burden of coming up with your own training content, now you don't have to. You can take this whole course. When you download all the files, you're going to get, just like with the mobile app workshop, a checklist for you to get ready for the class, content for you to put into an email that you'll send to the participants before the workshop so they know what's expected of them and what they need to do and bring to the workshop. And then the facilitator guide is a scripted out document that takes you through 5 activities. It actually scripts out the whole workshop, and then a follow-up email to make sure that the agents are continuing to form good habits with their database of always putting agents or contacts in the database, putting them in groups, putting them on the right campaign, following up, etc. So we look forward to hearing what you think about those.
Yeah, and you can send any comments about those to ambassadors@kw.com. We would love to hear anything we're missing, anything that you all think should be changed. We are totally open to suggestions.
So moving on, the next half of the session last week, if you'll advance the slide, was product updates. Here's a picture of our very large, today it's a large group. These are all of the people here at KWRI in our technology department focused on products. It's headed up by Jason Romig. He's our Director of Product Development. So he, along with his entire team, gave presentations on each of their respective products last week. If you look at your handouts here in the GoToWebinar control panel, you'll see that there are 2 PDFs, and one of them is a PDF that has all the slides, so we don't really have time, nearly enough time, to go through every single update that they gave, but here are the highlights that you're seeing here. The highlights of what's coming in the way of 5 of our core products. So EEdge, you're going to see some more campaigns coming your way, campaigns for anniversaries and birthdays, as well as an 8x8 mobile app campaign. Those are all expected to be launched no later than Q1 2016. And we've also talked to you about the mail merge feature that's coming to email. So you'll be able to send out emails and bring in merge fields, merge in various fields in the contact record into each email, so you have a very personal message going out, but you really only had to write it one time. With KWLS, syncing multiple times a day is right around the corner, so we can expect to see that in the next month or 2 is our goal. And another big update is that Q1 of next year, we're going to be integrating the RETS standard feed. With the mobile app, it's already happening, but some MLSs, you're seeing a more frequent, maybe a daily refresh of data, and that's kind of rolling out on a market-by-market basis, but we're working to get all of the listings updated much more frequently in the mobile app. You're also going to see push notifications early next year, and what that would include is alerts sent to your contacts about new open houses and new listings. And finally, the HomeKeeper app integration. If you were there at MegaCamp, they had a booth. HomeKeeper, just to sum it up, is a kind of a home maintenance app. You can go to homekeeper.com. It's spelled just like you see on the screen and read about it. But you can download this app and have it branded to you, and then soon you're going to be able to integrate that app into your mobile app and share that. And so the idea is that while your property search app is great for clients who are in the process of buying or selling their home, then you have this HomeKeeper app that you can continue the relationship with them after the closing to make sure that they are up to date on any of the home maintenance tasks that they need to take care of. And you can also have a list of your own preferred service providers. So there's more details on that in the slides. Google Apps for Business next year, we're bringing on Google Wallet and Google Groups, so adding those to the collection of Google apps that we offer all of you. And then finally, last but not least, you've probably heard about the new websites coming your way. We've entered into a relationship with Playster, who is going to be providing a WordPress website platform. This is going to be available in 2016, early in the year. We're taking requests. They're not all guaranteed, but you can request to be an early adopter right now. There was a link to that in today's ambassador update through the blog. There's also a link in the technology community, and we can send you one through the chat field here today in the webinar. But if you want to be an early adopter, either as an agent or you can do your Market Center's website, sign up to request an early adopter or request to be an early adopter, and if you get into the group, you'll start as early as October and you'll be notified in September as to which group you're in. So yeah, lots of requests for the link, so we'll send that to you through the webinar today.
And just so that you know, there is a link also available on the ambassador update that just went out today. And here's a link right here.
Oh, look, and there it is. So there's the website. We got ahead of ourselves. Go to put it in exactly as you see it, that link, http://mykw.kw.com/websites. You could read all about the features of the new websites, and way at the bottom of the screen, you'll see a link to opt in to the early adopter group. Okay, and then one more topic that was announced last week at MegaCamp, if you'll go one more slide, is we're rolling out product advisory groups. So this is a great way to make your voice heard. We know that you'd like to be involved and you have a lot of opinions about the direction our technology is taking, so get involved. We kicked this off at MegaCamp. If you weren't there, go to the page that you see here, go to the MyKW intranet. On the technology menu, there is a product advisory group menu item. You'll see this page, and so you can read all about it, what the expectations are of the agents who join this group, or you can sign up for multiple groups. Depends on what product you're most interested in. So as you can see on the screenshot here, we are forming groups, about 40 to 50 agents per core product, and those core products are listed there: EEdge, Google, KWLS/syndication, the mobile app, team leads, websites, and KW video. So if you have an opinion and you want to help move those products forward, it doesn't matter what your production level is or where you're located. We really want a wide variety of opinions involved. So again, it's not a guarantee, but you can definitely apply. It's a little bit of a lengthy application. We just want to know a lot about you, your team, or individual business makeup. So at the bottom of that page is a link where you can apply to join one of the groups. So please do. And then on the next slide, just a reminder that right here in today's webinar, you've got handouts from the MegaCamp session that we did for MC Techs and ambassadors. One is a PDF that has the slides with all of the speaking notes. The other is a copy of notes from a mastermind activity that we did last week. So thinking back to earlier in today's webinar, we talked about training for empowerment and what are the different ways that you can get learners in the classroom to find their own answers, with the goal being they are not dependent on you forever. You're not the only one who has the answer, and you're not going to be there next to them every single time they have a question or they have trouble. So training workshops are designed to get them on the path to being self-sufficient. So the document is a list of ideas that came from that mastermind. Great, great, great ideas. There were so many people at that session too. We had probably 250 at least. That's more than we've ever had before. So a lot of great discussions and thoughtful suggestions on how to empower learners. So they're all there for you.
Yeah, and as Brenda mentioned, that's really great, because that is directly from the session. All of those notes, that graphic you see is notes that Brenda was taking while people were giving those amazing ideas. So be sure you download that, and it'll be just like you were there. All right, let's talk about the KWLS updates this week. I am super excited about these updates, and I'm sure you all are too. Do you remember our old friend here, the Java upload that we used to have to do? Well, that is no longer necessary, ladies and gentlemen, because we have completely, we've resolved that. So we've turned the Java into we're now using what they call HTML5. So we're no longer using Java, we're now using HTML5. And just for those of you that are curious or don't know what HTML5 is, HTML5 isn't necessarily a product. What it is, it's a combination of your JavaScript, of your HTML script, of custom style sheeting, CSS, as some of you all are familiar with, and other graphics resolvers. And what it's done is all of it combines all of these applications into one, so that you don't have to load Java any longer to upload photos. What you can do now is you can simply drag and drop the photo, or of course you can also drag and drop the photo, or you can browse for the photo. You'll also notice that the photos can be quickly rotated right here within the tool. So if you do have a photo that is sideways, we can flip it over. You can remove it directly from here, start over, and once it's added, it will show up here in the bottom of the list, where then you can move the order, which is completely awesome, and then or remove them directly from your list. So adding photos is never been easier in the KWLS. Look at that. I see all kinds of great responses on that. Isn't that great? So happy about that. All right, what else do we have? What are the kind of updates? Well, we brought back for EEdge, we have some really great EEdge updates for this week. The question was, can you add more than one photo at a time? And the answer is yes. You can add more than one photo at a time. Thank you for that. That was probably something that I should have mentioned in the very beginning. Great question. Absolutely. All right, if you may or may not know that mailing lists are back. Mailing lists are back, and the mailing lists are great for those neighborhoods that you are farming, maybe a neighborhood that you would like to farm, or a specific area. You are the ones that are going to collect the mailing lists. You can get those mailing lists from many different places. Once you have the mailing list, then you can bring it into EEdge and then start to mail out your pieces. So we do have, for example, a just listed piece, and we want to make sure this just listed piece goes out to a specific farm that we have. So what we would do is, once we're in EEdge, we can go into the marketing pieces. It's important to know that when you are creating a mailing list, you have to first use a piece that you have saved. It doesn't necessarily have to be one that you've edited completely, but it does have to be one that was saved. So for example, if we're doing it just listed, naturally we would add our own photos, our own information, the price of the home, so on and so forth. Save that piece, and then once that piece is saved, after we exit the editor, you'll have the option to download it as a PDF, or you'll notice that we have highlighted print mailing addresses on pieces. So if you check that box, you'll be taken to the next screen, which shows that now the mailing options will open up. You'll get a couple of different options to choose from, like the size, the mail to recipients, and so forth. We can put in the address source. If you click on contacts, it's going to bring up all of your contacts, and it's only going to include the contacts that have physical addresses in them. If you want the mailing list, then you'll check the mailing list radio button, and then click on select mailing list. Once you choose mailing list, the select mailing list option will pop up. All right, once you click select mailing list, now you'll be given the options of what type of mailing list. Do we want to print the mailing list addresses on the pieces? what type of paper or finishing. It's actually all exactly the same. And then of course you put in your quantity. After you've added your quantity, we're going to say add to cart. Once we've added it to the cart, we'll get the option to let me back up. We'll get the option for our mailing list. So when we look at our mailing list, we have two choices. If we've already uploaded a mailing list, then we'll choose that mailing list template. Here is where we can rename the mailing list or delete the mailing list. So you can actually look at mailing lists before you send them out. If we are going to upload a brand new mailing list, well then we're going to want to choose upload mailing list down here, or upload mailing list I should say. And then from there we can continue. And then you'll notice you're taken to your upload mailing list window. Let me bring that back. And then you'll see that we have the option here to download the mailing list template. This is where you're going to get the mailing list template. And once we download that, I would recommend saving a template file in your hard drive and then just using that from here on out. Once you've downloaded that mailing list template, don't remove any columns, don't change it. It's just like the export that we do from our contacts. We don't want to change anything. And of course, we need to add the first name, last name, physical address, city, state, zip, and country. Yes, you have to add the country. And you have to add a minimum of 25 prospects. And then you can save this file in any format. It doesn't have to be a CSV. Once you've saved that in your hard drive, you can drag it, drop it here, or you can browse for it and pull it out of your hard drive just like you would any file. Someone asked, is this the only screen to add, modify, and manage mail lists? That is correct. That is where you'll manage and modify the mailing lists. All right, now we have the option to add current resident, and that would be highly recommended because you don't know if your contact may have moved away. So we'll put on their name or current resident. Maybe we'll pick up a brand new contact that way. And always send one to yourself so that you know what people are getting. That typically, actually, the send one to myself is free. So you can get that sent to yourself at no cost. All right, that is the mail list. Send us any questions that you have on that. I'm going to continue though because we're running out of time. We have more options for listing alert frequency. You can choose the listing alerts to once a week or twice a week. So now you have more options. And let's go ahead and look through some of those options. So let's say that we have a new contact. We're going to go into my contacts. We're going to look at all of our contacts and we're going to choose Ravel here. That is our new contact. So we're going to click on Ravel's name and then we can click on the more actions. That's going to be listed right here, more actions. And then we have this option, add new listing alert. So here's where we're going to add our listing alert for Ravel. Now we have the option to add that listing alert, and here are our frequencies. I clicked a little too much, got a little excited in the click in there. Here's our frequencies. So we can do daily, twice a day, twice per week, weekly, twice a month, or once a month. These are our options for sending Ravel the listing alerts. You'll also notice that we can create the types of the property types that we wanted to receive, the listing types, and of course any beds or baths. So we're going to create that criteria. So here's our new criteria. So we're going to say that we want it to go weekly in the Westlake area for resale, new and lease, single family. Here is his criteria, 3 beds, 2 baths. Okay, so this is the alert we're going to add, and we added it to go frequently. We're going to click add alert, and now Ravel is going to get alerts for those searches. Every time a brand new listing that meets that criteria comes up, it will show up in the search, or anytime a listing is sold or goes pending, it will disappear from his search, but he'll still receive an email weekly with those new listing alerts. With a hot buyer, we're probably going to want to do a little bit more frequently than weekly. Than weekly. All right, once you have the alert set up, if you look in Ravel's record itself, outside of the summary tab, if you look into the listing alerts tab, you'll notice that we have the alert listed there, and it shows us criteria where, of course, we could update that listing alert. We also have the ability to review any listing alert emails that went out, so we could see how many exactly that Ravel got as soon as those started being sent out. And then if we wanted to see any clients that don't have a listing alert saved, this is brand new and I love this because now we can make sure that anybody that is listed as a buyer, any hot or warm clients right now that are listed as a buyer, do they have any listing alerts set up? If I hit this drop down here and I choose no, it's going to give me all of the buyers that I have listed as either hot or warm that don't have listing alerts set up, and maybe I want to get in touch with them. Maybe I want to go ahead and set up a listing alert for them to get that started. Isn't that great? Just get that going right away. We can tell who does not have listing alerts. Okay, let's take a quick look at next week's schedule. We've just completed today's weekly Technology Ambassador webinar. You can scratch that off the list. We have the KW Technology Systems for Success continuing. We're going to talk about your EEdge settings. Hey, what a great time to do your EEdge workshop, right? We can have them attend that first and then do the EEdge workshop. Get them started on that. That could be some good pre-work. We have the MC Tech Coordinator webinar held by our own Adam. He will be providing you all that on Tuesday at 11 o'clock on the 1st. KW Video live training. A lot of you heard about KW Video. Did you know you get a free selfie stick with every KW Video subscription? That's right. You better check that out. And then lastly, the weekly Technology Ambassador webinar. That will be next Friday. We're so excited about you all being a part of that. All right, that is what we have for today, except Brenda, you want to do our trivia for this week?
Sure. Well, there's the question, no Googling. No Googling or any other search engine to find the answer. Who knows what Google was originally called in 1996 when it was first launched?
No clue. That is not right,
That's
Stephen.
not right.
That was a good guess. Stephen,
let's give it a couple more minutes, see if anybody can submit a guess.
Oh,
there it is.
that was accidental. I beg your pardon.
Okay. It was called Backrub. It was called Backrub, referring to the underlying technology, the backlink tracking. But Larry Page and Sergey did not think that said a lot about the end user experience of the search engine, and so they tried to think of a better name, and Google actually is a misspelling. The number Google, G-O-O-G-O-L, represents 10 to the 100th power, so it's a 1 followed by 100 zeros. That's where Google came from, but they misspelled it when they looked it up to see if it had been taken already, and it wasn't. So now we have G-O-O-G-L-E as Google, and we have a really cool infographic with 26 facts. Well, now you've got one of them. So here's 25 other fun facts about Google that just came to all of you through the questions field in this webinar. So that's enjoy fun. That. Yeah.
It'd be weird if someone asked, have you back rubbed yourself lately?
Yes, it would.
That would be a lot different. Okay, so we had some great questions come in. We got a couple minutes. I know we're a little bit over, but one of the questions that was asked was, is the new Playster website going to replace the EEdge or eAgency websites or both? And the answer is yes. And in the near future, that will be the case. When I say near future, in about a next year or so, we'll be phasing out those while we're phasing in Playster. Two reasons I say that this is a great idea, and one of them is indexable listings that you get for your $25 a month technology fee, and the second is it's mobile optimized. You can these websites look great on any mobile device. It would take us a long time to get both EEdge and eAgency websites to that place, so Playster is going to get us there. So that's really exciting. All right, Dave is asking, when can we have when can we have sold data available to us from EEdge, similar to VOW data from WolfNet? That all depends, Dave. Some MLSs don't provide sold data. Sold data typically is in VOW data. I don't know if it will be available in the Playster IDX, but it's something we can certainly find out. How long does it take to be notified if I'm in the beta group? The answer is you will be notified sometime in September. Any others that you see that stand out to you, Brenda, that we need to answer right away?
Nothing that's, they're more individual questions.
Okay, well, we're going to get to those questions and we'll answer you guys individually, or of course we'll answer them on the ambassador update if we have, along with, if there's several questions on, several on the same question.
Okay. Well, now there are a lot of questions coming in on the same topic. So just to be clear, the EEdge CRM, that there are no plans in the foreseeable future for that to change. So EEdge will still be your contact management system. And just as with your eAgency website and your EEdge website, your new KW website, any leads that come in through that website will go to EEdge. What we do see being phased out is just the EEdge market leader
website,
the group website, and the eAgency website. So we realized that the EEdge website is quick and easy to set up. The eAgency website can be as complicated as you want it to be. So you can make it very customized to your brand, and so a nice marriage of those two features is the KW website. So we're really trying to satisfy both options there with one website. So that is, so you will have three for a little bit, and we realize that can be fun in the training where you're having three options, and it's just whatever works best for your agents. But you can definitely point them in the direction of the new KW websites, and for everybody, those will be available early next year. And then if you get to be an early adopter, you'll get a little head start on feeling your way through that.
And I like the question Jillian asked. What will the new websites be called? Hey, believe it or not, Jillian, they're probably going to be called KW websites. KW agent websites.
Yeah, and as far as, we'll have more answers for you as we transition about, a lot of you are concerned. You've done a lot of custom work on your eAgency website. And so we are partnering with Brandco as well. So if that's one vendor a lot of you have used to customize your eAgency website, we're working, all of us are working together to make the transition onto KW websites as easy as possible so that you can still have your preferred look and feel, but just on the new platform. So we will certainly keep you updated as we have more information.
All right, well, sorry folks, we're out of time. We'll get back to you all with your urgent questions, but as always, we want to thank you for being a part of today's presentation. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Adam.
Thanks, Kevin. Have a great weekend, everybody.
All right, and as always, stay on the edge of real estate technology by using KW technology. Make it a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.